Hello, sir. Good evening. This is Nikhil Kavuru. My registration number is 18BCE2321. I'm here along with my teammate Aditya Bukisam to give a review 3 presentation on the topic prevention of real-time attacks using one class classifier and autoencoder. So yes, sir. Now basically we'll be giving you a wholesome presentation on our project. The first thing that I'd like to talk about is exactly what our project is going to do. So basically, in the present scenario, there are many systems that are linked with IoT devices and etc., which causes and leads to many such attacks through malicious data coming to the system in various ways. So what our aim is to basically hopefully develop a method in which all the unusable data or data that shouldn't be taken into the system will get filtered out, only accepting the nice data. So for this, what we have come up is the use of one class classifier along with autoencoders. So first, I'll be talking about what one class classifier exactly is. A one class classifier can be told as a yeah, it can be told as an unsupervised machine learning algorithm, which basically takes in a lot of data, classifying it into only one group, which means accepting one group of data or one class of data and rejecting the others. That means if you're given a particular amount of data, it takes in all the data, it parses through the data and segregates everything into a single group, i.e., accepts only that type of data, whereas rejecting the rest of the data. So for this, what we have done is been explained in this architecture diagram here. So basically what we have done is we have taken three different types of data, being benign traffic, GAF traffic and Mirai traffic. Out of these three data, what we have done, what is the major importance is of benign data traffic, which basically means a good traffic and a traffic with no malicious software that can affect your system. So this benign data, in this benign data, 80% of this is used in training of one class classifier, whereas the other 20% is used in testing. But GAFG and Mirai, all 100% of the data is basically used for testing one class classifier. Then after testing this, we'll be getting a certain output, which means only there'll be some error because no machine is 100% accurate. So this error data along with some other data and some other text cases is put into autoencoder. This autoencoder finally gives out better filtering of the data. This is our project. Yeah, so now Aditya will be explaining the code and the running mechanism.
Hi sir, my name is Aditya and my registration number is 18BC2284 sir, and I would be explaining to you the code sir here. So first I'll be showing you the implementation of one class classifiers and autoencoder in the RStudio. Then I'll be showing the implementation in the Google Colab sir. So here first I have created a function called load data. So what it will be doing is it will be loading the data from my personal path in my computer. This readarc will load only one file, means one Excel file, but this load data can take a folder which has multiple Excel files. After that I am categorizing these three as before Nikhil told. One is benign data and one is GAPCHIT data, one is Mirai data. Benign data is good and remaining two are bad data. And after that, in benign data, I'll be removing the null characters where because the machine doesn't understand the null characters, it can only understand in digits. After that, I'm labeling everything like which is true and which is false. And after this, in one classifier, I'll be only giving the training set. So first, I'll be dividing the whole thing into 20% and 80%. For testing purposes, I'll be using only 20% of benign data, and for remaining 80%, will be giving us training set as given here. After that, I'll be printing the. After that, I'll be training the model. So now we can see how well it had been trained. So here we have a new value of 0.2. So the lower the new value, the better the output. The number of support vectors means the number of lines that have been drawn from good data to bad data. So these number of vectors have been drawn. After that, the training error is very low. As you can see, it's 0.19. So it had understood very nicely. Now I will be printing you the confusion matrix after giving the test set 2, starting from index -1. That is not starting. So the confusion matrix here will be something like this. Here you can see it didn't allow anything that is true and which is false by reference. It's been zero, and you can see the confusion matrix. But the most bad type of traffic which can affect our computer is this traffic, which is which by reference it is false and by prediction it's true. That means it's allowing some false data. So we have to minimize this data. In order to minimize this data, we'll be using autoencoders, and we'll be including this data and this and the summation of these two data by 2 uh, because of the resources purposes we are reducing the data size. Now here autoencoders will be an H2O module. Now I'll be downloading the H2O module. After that I am giving the train IoT. I am making a training model. So I made a training model. After that for testing, so here are all the remaining training things only. After that, before I told you, like I took 50% of the thing, which is divided by 2. I have taken 50%, and I have done the predict, and I have done the and I have trained and tested the whole thing, but it will take very high time. So that's why I previously only ran the project. Now the final output will be something like this. As you can see here, this value, like before, it told it is true, but it predicted as true, but in reference it's false. So those values were around some 4 digits before here. Now it has been reduced to just 2 digits, which will stop the malicious traffic into our system using autoencoders. Now we have implemented these autoencoders in Google Colab also, but we were not able to combine the R Studio and Google Colab. But we have made the model using 2 separate data sets. This is our project on only autoencoder. Here what I have done is like, first I have put the training set part. So I have put 2 different data sets, and I uploaded here, as you can see, and I am printing the data set. Now it doesn't have, as you can observe here, there are no column names. Without column name, it's very tough to identify what is good and what is bad. So I'll be giving the column names here. And based on the column names, based on like it's like a truth value, it's like a truth table, like some things will be 1, something will be based on this value, the outcome will be decided. So this is the most important value, the outcome column. So we have only, so since we have, and we'll be having these many rows in the data set, but as you can see here, there are only 23 different outcomes. So I thought of making these 23 different outcomes into 4 type of groups, because we can categorize them easily and we can show in graphs, because Python will give so much good plotting of graphs compared to RStudio. So here I just gave labeling to all these things. I created a function called label, and I just ran a for loop, and I gave all the labels here. After that, I printed all the columns. Before it was 23 and 38. Now both column names are same, 5 and 5. Since all the after that, the machine can't understand continuous values. So to convert continuous values into machine understanding values, I use the min max scale values to scale it. After that, the computer doesn't understand the discrete values. So for changing that, I have it one hot encoding. So I just ran a for loop and insert the whole data set inside it. And so it will be converting if anything discrete or continuous using the if condition. So as you can see now, there are no discrete values and continuous values. There are only machine understandable values, and you can see like everything has a column name here. After that, I'm just showing the coordinates. After that, I made the model here. Here the activation ReLU is called, like it's the activation code. Like if the machine sees the ReLU, it will start the encoding part. Since autoencoder and has 2 parts, encoding and decoding, it will perform the 2 functions. And for a project, because it's a school project, I have used 10 epochs. But if it's a real-time industrial project, you can use like 1,000 epochs or 10,000 epochs. Sir. After that, I have calculated the losses for final confusion matrix, so that we can see how much loss is happening. And here I have created just an thing for finding the accuracy. Now I am mixing these two things and showing you the final output while running in a for loop. Now, as you can see, the total accuracy is like around 90%. Precision is higher and everything is higher. And the detection rate, as you can see, the detection rate also it has identified very nicely. And here the normal detection rate is very low because the data set doesn't contain very good traffic. Most of them is bad traffic. And I have plotted the final confusion matrix. As you can see, this is the final thing. And this is the while plot of this whole thing. So here the red is the threshold value. Anything below the threshold is good. Anything above is very bad. As you can see, the most dangerous attack upon all these things is probe attacks, which is very dangerous, and the machine has identified. And this is our project, sir. Thank you.